Hello everyone and welcome to episode 12 of my Guild Wars 2 series. Last episode we completed chapter 1 of the Charr personal story, and today we're going to take it a little bit easy and we are going to return to the Plains of Ashford, and we are just going to work on some map completion today. I might complete the map this episode, I might complete most of the map this episode and then pick up next episode. We'll see about how far I get. So I'm going to go ahead and waypoint over here to where we have some new tasks to complete. This is at the Blood Legion camp we were at last episode, and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to wander around this area and just help out the legions and just level up a little bit here and there. So our first task we have is a level 7 task just north of here, where we are going to defeat some ghosts, squish spiders and their eggs north of Temperance Point. So let's go ahead and head north here. So when I was recording the last episode, I noticed that there were a lot of issues related to the audio in that episode, and I'm really sorry about that, and I'm sorry if there was a ton of audio issues there. I realized after that my recording settings for the audio settings in particular were a little off, so I believe I fixed it since last episode, and hopefully it is fine now. We'll kind of see how it is. I might have to fix a couple of things next episode because I was trying out a little bit of new stuff this episode, so we'll see how it is. But I am sorry that last episode was a story episode, and unfortunately a lot of my talking was kind of blocked out by the sound of pistols and daggers and stuff like that. But let's go ahead and continue fighting the ghosts here. I'm just going to fight each of them, and then I'm going to go ahead and head back down towards Charr Triumph. We have a ton of different areas that we can explore here in the Plains of Ashford, and it's really interesting because it's very kind of here and there, where I feel like with Queensdale and Kessex Hills and Gandharan Fields, which were the last zones we were exploring a lot of, it was much more linear, and the zones here are linear, but I feel like it's kind of linear in the sense where you come to one area and then you kind of go all around and then you finish that area and then you come back over here. So for example, we are here at Temperance Point and we came all the way up here for a task, and then we're going to come all the way over here for a task, and then we're going to be pushing forward, and it's going to be kind of a trend that we see until the eastern half of Plains of Ashford, where we kind of do a big loop around the area. Let's go ahead and come over here for these spider egg sacs. So the Shadow of the Mad King, which is the Halloween festival in Guild Wars 2, is actually going on right now, and this is the first episode that we have seen in this Let's Play series. However, I don't think I am going to be covering it this early on in the series. I want to wait until a little bit later into the series to cover these festivals. So we'll come back next year, most likely, and we'll be exploring the Shadow of the Mad King then. But I've been having a ton of fun this festival, as I do every single festival. If I were to rank it, it's probably my third favorite festival out of the 6 big ones that exist in Guild Wars 2. And I'm really hoping that, I don't think we really need any big festivals like the 3-week-long festivals that we get, but I'm really hoping they add some kind of week-long or day-long festivals, similar to what we see in Guild Wars and other MMOs as well. Concepts like Pirates Day or a harvest festival that lasts a week. That'd be a lot of fun, I think. But the festivals in Guild Wars 2 are very big and extravagant, and there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of mini games and a lot of rewards you can get and stuff like that. But we'll explore that all in a future episode. I've been thinking a lot recently about how I want to kind of showcase everything in Guild Wars 2, and basically my objective with this series, if you kind of missed the first couple of episodes, is to show everything in Guild Wars 2. And I think I'm going to be doing this a little bit by having some bonus episodes here and there, as well as other pieces of content on my channel that I'll be referencing in my Let's Play series, that people who are interested can go watch it and they'll learn a lot about that piece of content or that story that I'm wanting to talk about, and it would help anyone who's following along throughout the entire story here to kind of have a better grasp and understanding of the game. Largely, a big area that I'm thinking about with this is raiding in Guild Wars 2, where I really want to showcase raiding in Guild Wars 2, and I have plans to showcase the entirety of raids in Guild Wars 2, but it is going to be kind of one of those like extra resources for people to come and watch, and we might do a little bit of raiding in the series once we get to that point, but we probably won't be doing every single achievement and every single raid boss and whatnot in this series, but I'm still going to have those resources there for people who want to go and watch stuff like that to be able to do so, and I will reference those videos at the appropriate point in the series. If you have like any pieces of this game that you really want highlighted and like showcased, feel free and let me know, ask in the comments below, and I can dedicate an entire episode to like showcasing like that area of content. So like one of like the big extra things in this game that I'm planning on showing soon is crafting. So people who are familiar with crafting in other games, I'm just going to take like World of Warcraft for example, where you can learn like blacksmithing, you can learn stuff like weaponsmithing and armor smithing, as well as everything for every other type of weapon and armor in the game, as well as a few other crafting disciplines that exist as well. And I'm planning on showcasing that relatively soon, and I'm probably going to be spending like the better part of an episode talking about that. There is a Flame Legion effigy right here, and we have a friend that is kind of here. Let's go ahead and I'll go ahead and mount up too. We can get a nice start here. Let's go ahead and put down my preparations. This is a champion, and we are already struggling quite a bit. Looks like our Savari Elementalist friend there is also struggling. And let's go ahead and try to get the Stalker down. He's reviving me, so this is good. So we dodge out of that. Let's go ahead and get rid of the Stalker just to get rid of some damage. And I'm going to go ahead and stun this effigy. It's at 2/3 health now. This is probably actually one of the most challenging things we've done in the series so far. Let's go ahead and put down our preparations again. Let's go ahead and just keep unloading. I'm going to keep circling around this effigy. You don't see any other friends around here, so I think it's just going to be the Savari and I. Let's go ahead and put this poison field down, and let's go ahead and do some more headshots to stun it again. I think we just interrupted an attack there, so that's very good timing. Let's go ahead and unload, and I can heal again here, and I just healed back to the same amount of health I was a second ago. Let's go ahead and throw this preparation down. One more unload, get out of that fire field. Let's go ahead and use that preparation, unload one more time, and wow. We got it, and we actually got an item there for Halloween. I'm going to go ahead and hold on to that for now. Let's go ahead and cheer, and then let's fight this Ember, and then I'll use this power source as well. Let's go ahead and finish this other Ember off. I'll wait a second so our friend can attack it for some credit, and then let's head over here. Go ahead and put this Halloween prize bag down there. Every day we can fight 3 champions, or we can do a special Halloween activity in order to get some of those bags, which have a ton of prizes and treats and stuff like that in it, but I'm just going to leave that in my inventory for now. And I accidentally attacked this ram. It's just a bunch of chaos right now. Let's go ahead and finish this ram off, and then let's go ahead and come down over here. I think I might go ahead and grab this waypoint as well, and then maybe go over there and grab the Vista, and then head back over here. And there's another Flame Legion power source here. I think I'll be able to finish the task after I kill this Ember. Level 7, we are level 12 right now. Well, we were downscaled to level 12. We were 17, and then we just leveled up to level 18, and we can get our level up reward here. So we have an option of 3 dyes, and it's the same option that we had on our human character. And we picked Pastel Lemon, and I think I'm going to pick Olive Tint this time. And we also learned about Ashura Gates, so I guess I'll talk a little bit about this right now. Around the world, there are gates that are made by the Ashurans, which are like the kind of little small goblin-y-ish, demon-y-ish creatures that we have seen a few of around. They're great engineers and great like magitechs, and they create great like machines and stuff like that. One of those great inventions that uses magic and stuff like that basically in order to operate are called Ashura Gates, and they act similar to waypoints, which are also an Ashuran creation. But Ashura Gates allow us to travel from one part of the road to complete the other part without ever having been there before. So in the Black Citadel, there's an Ashura Gate to the capital city of Lion's Arch, and we will be able to go through that at some point in order to travel there, and we can go from Lion's Arch through a bunch of Ashur gates that are at a hub in Lion's Arch to all of the other cities around the world, as well as a few other locations. Though, of course, we can nowadays just waypoint to each of the starter zones. So, for example, I could waypoint to Shamor right now, but back in the day, we had to use the Ashur gates to get there, and it was really kind of fun that you had to run all the way to an Ashur gate. And I think it could have been a little bit of a fun time if we had to travel there all the way by foot. If we were here at nearby Rin and we had to travel over the Shiver Peak Mountains into Kryda to get to Shamor, that would be fun. But the Ashur gates always existed, and they were very nice to have around, and now the waypoints there are also very nice as well. But the Ashura are a race we are going to learn a lot about several episodes from now, and we're kind of going to learn a lot about what they are and what they do. I have been very kind of loose in my explanation of Ashurans, where I've called it machines and magic and stuff like that. We are going to learn a lot more about them at some point. But for now, let's stick with our basic steel and gunpowder Charr, and we can finish off this very magical and mystical flame effigy. And with that, we finished this hero challenge, and then there is a vista over here that we kind of have to run around to get. So let's go ahead and mount up on our raptor. We have a very cool ruined structure in the center of this lake right here on a small island. Very cool. And not too far away, a large Charr construction there. But if we come around over here, I believe right here, I am correct, right here, we can jump up here and we can run over here towards the vista. This is kind of another example of how a lot of the vistas in this map are kind of like jumping puzzles, and I really enjoy getting the vistas in this map for that reason, because I absolutely love doing jumping puzzles. Let's go ahead and take a look at this one. There's a Halloween pumpkin there in the center of the ruins. Very funny. And with that, let's go ahead and waypoint back over to Charr's Triumph, and we can get the couple of points of interest that we missed over here. So actually over here is a scout, and I don't think we ever talked to this scout. And I believe we completed every task related to this scout.
Appreciated, soldier. We're taking this land back.
And she talks about how we have completed a lot of work around here. And this is kind of an example of when we complete an area, we can talk to a scout, and they'll just give us a little bit of a congratulatory piece of information there. Similar to how when we go to a task person, we can access a vendor and get some rewards from them. It's just a little nice piece of lore where you're progressing through the world, and it feels like you're making a difference in the world, and you're doing a lot to help the legions, for example, here in Ascalon. There is another vista just northeast of here that I missed. Let's go ahead and get on our raptor and come over here. I believe the start of this little jumping puzzle here is on the northern end of this little mountainous area here, and I believe it's right here. So let's go ahead and hop off of our raptor so we can have a little bit of a fun time here, and just jump over here. And that's all the jumping we have to do here. Let's just climb up here and then interact with this vista. I believe this is a statue of Pyre Fiershot, the Charr that begun the rebellion against the Flame Legion several hundred years ago. And there's the Charr falling animation there, kind of just flailing for the ground. And then let's go ahead and get the point of interest here, and then we can go try to find the scout nearby. Let's go ahead and interact with the statue here. And it reads, this statue has an inscription: look at this hero that stands before you and let him be your inspiration. Pyre Fiershot, Bane of the Flame Legion, led us to freedom from religious tyranny. We owe him everything we are. Very cool piece of the world there. Let's go ahead and hop down here, and we have a scout right here that we can talk to.
A soldier is only as good as her training. Our frontline troops need to be the best. So we've set up a fighting pit to test our soldiers against the beasts of the region. Do what you can to help train them.
A fighting pit, okay. Let's go ahead and come over here, just east of here, and come up this ramp. So we have a new task here. Use a rifle to capture minotaurs and drakes, then spar with them in the fighting pit. Let's go ahead and check out this fighting pit here. I believe this task has changed quite a bit over the years, where I think we used to be able to fight anything we wanted whenever we wanted in here, but now it's only related to, oh, we have some drakes here. Let's go ahead and fight them. I thought it would be like events and stuff nowadays, but I'm not entirely sure, so let's go ahead and explore this a little bit and see how this works. When we came in here, there were a ton of drakes just charging out after us, and let's go ahead and deal with them and see if anything else spawns. Looks like there's some minotaurs that spawned there, so maybe they'll come out in a moment and come attack us. We are in here with some Blood Legion soldiers as well as an Iron Legion marksman. In the back there seems to be some sort of ringmaster. Let's go ahead and AoE all of these minotaurs down. With the skills that we have right now, we don't have a ton of AoE stuff, so I'm gonna have to try my best to kind of like target everything. And my main AoEs are on my utility bar, but they are kind of a little bit difficult to use because you have to put them down in a certain area, and then you have to wait a few seconds and then you can use them. So sometimes if you're not being super strategic about things, there's more salamander hatchlings there. Let's go ahead and fight them. But if I'm not being super strategic, I could just completely miss the enemies that I am trying to fight. And with that, we completed the task. Let's go ahead and accept this reward. And I think on that note, let's go ahead and take a look at our hero panel here and look at trainings. So let's go ahead and take a look at trick here. So we have a new healing skill where we cure conditions, then roll backward while healing and evading attacks. That sounds fun. Let's take a look at that. We have scatter caltrips that bleed and cripple foes. Let's go ahead and do that as well. We have scorpion wire, throw a scorpion wire and pull your foes to you. That seems kind of fun. Let's go ahead and train that as well. We have roll for initiative. That's a fun ability name. Evade backward to regenerate initiative and recover from crippled, chill, and immobilize. Let's go ahead and learn that as well. And then haste. Gain quickness, fury, and swiftness, but we don't have enough hero points for that right now, but we also don't have a ton of stuff down here. Let's go ahead and put these new skills on our skill bar. Let's get caltrips, and then we have another evade here. And we have a hero challenge here. Let's go ahead and fight this hero challenge. And let's throw our caltrips on the ground there. So it's not really like a preparation. We can just use it and it starts dealing damage to them. We have a ton of bleeding stacks on it, but it might be in part from our friends. But I think our auto attack also does quite a bit of bleeding. So combined with our caltrips and our vital shot, we can do a lot of bleeding damage to our enemies. Let's come down here because we have a waypoint, and then we completed all the tasks in this scout's area, so we can talk to this new scout right here.
The German Priory is searching for artifacts in the ruins of Ascalon City, but the human ghosts that roam the area stand in our way. We do what we can to stop them from attacking us, but it is only a matter of time before they reappear, and we are only so many.
So we have another issue related to the ghosts just northeast of here, so let's go ahead and head over here, and we can light torches to guide patrols and thin out ghosts in Devast. So we are now in the Devast district, and I believe there is a hero challenge just here, so let's go ahead and come over here. Looks like we have a bit of an area we can explore right here as well, so we can go ahead and take a look around. We are kind of approaching the area of Plains of Ashford that's going to be really recognizable for Guild Wars 1 players, and it's very fun to see. Let's go ahead and do this hero challenge here. There's an ethereal vanguard monument. Let's go ahead and fight this veteran here. I'm going to go ahead and roll, and then I could roll back in maybe, and then caltrips. I hit the side of that little broken wall right there. Let's go ahead and fear them all, and let's unload on the veteran here a little bit. They are all in the corner here, so let's go ahead and... Ooh, I leveled up. That was a very convenient level up time, because whenever we level up, we restore all of our health. So we were kind of low on health there, and that helped us out in the fight. And with that level up, we have a new reward, which is just 6 more hero points. So we could actually take a look at this haste ability, and we could learn this. And we could go ahead and throw this on our skill bar. We will unlock our elite skill at level 31, and we can take a look at Dagger Storm, where we spin around, reflecting projectiles and throwing daggers that cripple and bleed nearby foes. You can move while spinning. Very, very fun and cool ability. And I completely forgot that I'm using my sword here, so let's go ahead and just distract this Ascalon mage, cast a flurry on her, and let's take a look in our inventory and see what weapons we potentially have right now. I don't think we really have anything, so maybe I'll pick up a new weapon when we are near a weapons merchant, but sure is one just north of here. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and just fight a bunch of ghosts.
Strong.
We have a ton of ghosts in this area. Looks like there's a spectral cat wandering around, as well as a spectral frog. We have Alpha and a frog. Let's go ahead and fight these peasants here. There's also a sword in the stone right there as well. Let's go ahead and light this torch, and then we can fight this ghost. A raven nearby as well. A hammer on the ground. Lots of details in the road right here, and a rat. And the rat is now gone. We come over here, there's an Iron Legion marksman we can go ahead and resurrect, and we have now gotten 100 killing blows with our pistol. Only 4,900 more to go for this achievement to get 11 achievement points. Let's go ahead and light this torch, and we have a couple of torches over here we can light as well, and then we could head out of this area and fight some ghosts on the outer edge around here. The entrance to this area is very interesting because I noticed it is like super red, and it's also very dark. There's a little bit of light coming in from the sky there, but I think this could potentially be red, but it might also be some sort of like necromantic sorcery. I feel like I'm not entirely sure. Looking at it from this angle, you can tell there seems to be blood on the ground, and this is a very gruesome sight if it is indeed blood, because this is a lot, and it's all over the walls as well, and goes up like all the way towards the ceiling. We have another Ascalon in here, and there's a Plainsworm fighting this Iron Legion marksman, so maybe we'll help out against the Plainsworm. And let's go ahead and fight this Plainsworm, and then we could probably just resurrect these 3 Charr here to finish our task here. And with that, we completed our task. Let's go ahead and head over here and talk to the scout and see where we should go next. But we might come north a little bit to grab this waypoint here and explore the area north of here a little bit. Let's talk to the scout first.
The engineers of Iron Dock Shipyard are at the forefront of underwater technology, but they're constantly harassed by wildlife, not to mention the separatists who've built a nearby camp. Their vital work must continue unimpeded.
Okay, let's go ahead and head east here then a little bit. I see there's an unexplored area just south of here that we can poke our head in. We just explored Ascalon Basin. The unexplored area is still south of here. We come in here a little bit. There's a huge shadow skulk right there. Let's go ahead and ignore that and take a look at our map. Windrock Maze. Not any real map completion there. Let's go ahead and head towards this dockyard first and see how we can help out there, and then we can go ahead and fight separatists. So the separatists are the humans who don't agree in the treaty between Charrs and humans, and they are continuing the war against the Charr in the name of humanity. But here we are at the dockyard, but this is a very large Charr camp that is on the bank of the Ascalon Basin, a very large body of water here in the middle of Ascalon. Let's go ahead and we can ask how we can help. And then experimental, sign me up. So we have some experimental weapons we can test. Let's go ahead and test them out on these dummies here. We can destroy the dummies in one attack. Let's go ahead and just hit all of them. We have another one here. And then we have some drakes that I think we could practice on. We also hit them all in one attack. We have a ton of different abilities we can use. We have an oil grenade here, a flame grenade we could try. Wow, that was a big grenade. Okay, I wonder if that was because... Let's go ahead and do some experimentation. Let's go ahead and throw this fire grenade. Okay, it deals a ton of damage. I was wondering if it was maybe because we put the oil grenade down. We have a concussion grenade as well. Let's go ahead and just throw the oil one, and then let's go ahead and throw the fire, and then let's go ahead and attack both of these drakes that we have coming in here, and then we can come over here and attack this drake hatchling here. It seems like the big ones we want to do is just a strike grenade and then the flame grenade as well. Let's go ahead and finish this one off, and then we have a big rock drake over here that we can attack and maybe finish the task on this one's death. One more grenade in there. Oh, we need another one. The target dummies over here are back up and restored. Let's go ahead and attack them. Probably only need one. And we did indeed only need one. Let's go ahead and drop these grenades. And then let's head south and we can head towards the separatist camp here. So our mission here is to kill separatists, destroy their mines, disrupt their plans, and rescue captured Charr. Let's go ahead and do just that. We have some Charr in the camp here attacking them.
But we got the job done.
And let's go ahead and fight all these separatists. It looks like their camp here is a little bit destroyed, but they are repairing it as we talk. And we have a basher here that we can go ahead and fight. We have some plans in here that we can go grab, and then we can destroy those weapon racks as well. Looks like these separatists want to fight us now. Go ahead and defeat both of them. We can use our abilities here. Let's go ahead and use haste so we can deal a ton of damage to them. And then we can finish this one off with a reload. And then let's go ahead and fight this weapon rack. Fight is a very technical term, I guess, since it is an inanimate object, but it still has like a health bar, so you're still technically like fighting it, I suppose. And let's go ahead and finish this one off, and then just gather up all these plans. And we could bring it back to the task person, and we might complete the task by just turning it in. If not, we can go ahead and just kill a few more separatists. It looks like the task giver here is downed right now, so let's go ahead and revive. Windrock Maze here is a very kind of like interesting area to look into and around. There's not much going on. There's some scales and some sparks over there, but beyond that, not too much. And then what can we do with these papers that we collected? Let's go ahead and find it in our inventory. I don't see it in our inventory actually. Oh, we burned the plans. This is how much I am paying attention to what we are doing right now. Let's go ahead and come up here and let's go fight this trebuchet right here, as well as the engineer that is firing it. Let's go ahead and fight the engineer off, and then let's go ahead and just come back into the camp. And we can group these two up and then deal some AoE damage at them, and then we can move on to the next one. We are almost done this task. There is a waypoint over here and then a very cool area that I want to take a look at in a moment. Let's go ahead and finish this task first though. And with that task complete, let's go ahead and grab this Vista first and then go ahead to the waypoint. It looks like the Vista jumping puzzle begins right here. And we just have a nice task reward here with a little bit of a thank you note from the task giver there. Probably extra thankful because we went out of our way to revive her. Let's go ahead and take a look at this vista. And there are some diving goggles here. Let's go ahead and take a look at those after. And we have some diving goggles here, which I believe are the first pair that we have found. And these are just scattered around the world at very high locations with a large body of water underneath them. So let's go ahead and equip them, and we can see we are in our swimsuit now. And if we jump off, we will unlock two new abilities that we can use. One is to spin, one is to flip. So let's go ahead and spin and then flip, and we land in the water. And that was indeed our first diving goggle location. Here we can see there are 38 different places that we can find in just the core game. As the game continues to develop and there's more and more maps being added, we can find more and more diving goggles in those areas. So let's go ahead and come over here and we can grab this waypoint, and then we can head into a very cool little jumping puzzle slash like mini dungeon. I think it's classified as a jumping puzzle, but it is an area called Loreclaw Expanse, and it is very, very cool. And it was actually very confusing for me my first time coming through here back in 2012. I didn't really know where to go, but nowadays It's kind of straightforward. But these traps here, those red traps, are very, very dangerous. So we need to be very, very careful. Let's go ahead and head over this wooden beam. And if we come over here onto this wooden structure here, we can look back and we can kind of see how cool this area is. I'll just zoom in. It is like the ruins of a great Ascalonian fortress or something like that. And you can see it has very much crumbled and fallen into disrepair. And now it is a very precarious location. But within this area, there is some hidden treasure. Let's go ahead and just poke our head out here, because this is kind of like a nice serene area right here. Nice little outcropping here that looks out on the Ascalonian basin. But let's go ahead and come back into this area here, and we can work our way towards the treasure. We come up here, we have this ramp here, and then we can jump. Oh my gosh, I almost fell there. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's go ahead and do a risky jump and jump right here. We have, oh, I took a lot of damage there. Let's go ahead and put our back to the wall because our healing skill is a dodge ability. And I think I might actually dodge back over here, and then I might try to figure out the best avenue and approach in this area. So I think if we just go for it, let's go ahead and dodge twice and then jump over here. We got hit once, but we are okay, we are alive. Let's go ahead and heal up a little bit, and then you can go ahead and jump here. Our jumping, oh, screen shake. Our jumping is a little bit weaker right now because we are in combat, but in just a moment we should be out of combat. Go ahead, I failed that jump there, and now I'm out of combat. If I had just waited like 3 more seconds, we would have made that jump. Let's go ahead and climb back up. If we come here, we can kind of see through this waterfall here. I believe this is an area that we can jump to, so let's go ahead and make a leap of faith there. And this is a very cool waterfall, and we're kind of now in the new area of the ruins. Right here we have a treasure chest that we can go ahead and interact with, and it spawned a shadow skilled matriarch that it looks like it was like a bit of a trapped chest. Let's go ahead and fight this matriarch. We kind of need a heal here. Let's go ahead and cast haste, and let's go ahead and steal from her, and then we unlocked a new ability called throw scale. Let's go ahead and just unload everything, and we cleaned that up very nicely. If you just poke our head over here, I think we can kind of see a little bit of an area we could explore, but I don't think there's too much over here. I believe, oh, and we have a journal here that we can go ahead and read. Let's go ahead and read this. A weathered journal lies near the skeleton of what was possibly the last explorer to make it this far. The cover bears the name Henry Genos Sr. I most likely butchered that name. The pitiful excuses for traps that are scattered throughout these ruins wouldn't trip up a blindfolded Eden. This appears to be the final chamber. Pressure plate in the rafters that seem linked to opening this chest. Yet another pitiful attempt by the unimaginative trap makers who rigged this cave to stop intruders, but is no threat to me. Looks like you were wrong about that one, Henry. Let's go ahead and climb up here. We have a little bit of a jumping area here. If you climb up here, and then if you come over here, we have a little bit more that we can climb up, and then we have some beams that have fallen down we can climb across. It looks like here we have a pressure plate, and it looks like standing on that pressure plate broke the wall over here, and it crumbled and fell to the ground. Let's go ahead and come through it, and then here we have a grand chest, and this is the conclusion of Loreclaw Expanse. We completed this jumping puzzle. We got 10 achievement points for our first time through, and we got some mediocre, let's be honest here, some mediocre items as a reward. Let's go ahead and come out this back exit here, and then if you come just north of here, we can go ahead and talk to the scout for our next task. We are in the area for the task right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at this dread scale, and you can go ahead and fight this group of scales right here. I think this scale's name might actually be Dread Scale, might not be the Dread Scale. Let's go ahead and cast haste, and you can go ahead and just attack them all. We have a friend over there that might help us out with fighting the scale. Scales are very difficult enemies if you are really weak, because they have regeneration that will really restore their health quite quickly, and if you're not able to deal enough damage to them, which nowadays, like, most people don't really have a problem with that, but back in the day when you were low level and you didn't deal too much damage, it was definitely very challenging to be able to beat that regeneration. Let's go ahead and just swim north over here, and we can talk to Mineta Scale Slayer here, and we can kind of see what's going on in this area. I believe she is just going to direct us to the task we are working on right now.
This scale are known around Tyria for their deadly poison. We need plenty of samples to isolate the source of that toxicity and to weaponize it for the Charr.
Let's go ahead and head back, and we can continue our task. Looks like we have a scale trap here that we can lay, and our inventory is full. Let's go ahead and take care of that. Wow, we really cannot take care of that. Let's go ahead and just clean up our inventory a little bit here. I'll go ahead and learn this olive tint dye, and I'll just salvage all of this. We could actually go ahead and take a look at our equipment, and we can go ahead and take a look at what dyes we have. So we unlocked olive tint, so let's go ahead and just take a moment and just dye the armor that we have on this character right now. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just dye everything olive tint just right now, and then we can kind of take a look at what it looks like. It's very not the best looking as is right now. Let's go ahead and take a look here, and a steep maple looks a little interesting. I'm not sure if there's much we could do with mask there. Let's go ahead and just take a look at all the other armor pieces, and I think I'm going to go ahead and do this, and I think that looks pretty okay. With the mask, let's go ahead and pick up ebony maybe, and then dye both of them like that, and then once we're out of combat, wow, we have a lot of scales here that we're fighting. Let's go ahead and move our hero panel off to the side for a moment. We can go ahead and fight all these scales, and we are down on the ground right now. This is not good. And we killed one and we leveled up at the same time there, so that was very convenient. And we can go ahead and finish off this last scale, and we can get our level up reward as well, which is a ring. I'll go ahead and pick the power one, and then we can go ahead and close that. With leveling up to level 20, we have now unlocked chapter 2 of the Charr personal story, but I'm going to wait a little bit before starting that. Let's go ahead and roll back here, and then now we can go ahead and select our dyes. And then let's go ahead and fight all these hatchlings. We just leveled up to level 20, and now we are almost level 21. That is just bonkers, and we're in a level 12 area. That's just insane. Let's go ahead and fight all these hatchlings here, and then we can finish up this task. I was very low on health there. Let's go ahead and set this trap here, and then let's go ahead and fight this scale right here. And we have a melee attack we can use against the scale, but he's invulnerable right now, and let's finish him off. And we are very close to completing this task. Maybe we'll complete at least 2 scales that are right here. Let's go ahead and fight both of them. One's invulnerable. Maybe we can get this one to go invulnerable for a moment. Oh, we just killed it. That's even nicer. And then we need a little bit more. So let's go ahead and cast some poison at this guy. And then let's fight this guy. And then with the Skull Hatchling dead, we have leveled up. And we can go ahead and collect both of the rewards from our level up as well as the task. And then let's go ahead and hop onto our raptor, and we can head over here to the scout over here and see what is going on. We have a waypoint right here. Let's go ahead and unlock that. And then let's come over here, and the scout is over here. It looks like there's an Ash Legion camp right here, which is very nice. Let's go ahead and come over here to this weaponsmith, and let's take a look at what weapons we can mess around with. So we can take a look at our build here and see what weapons we have not learned yet. So we have not taken a look at dagger offhand, and we have not looked at short bow. So let's go ahead and buy a short bow, and let's go ahead and buy 2 daggers. Until we mess around with that for now. Let's go ahead and equip both of these daggers, and then we'll equip the short bow here, and then we can talk to the scout, and then we can fight some creatures in order to learn what these abilities do.
Ogres are encroaching on our land here in Cadem Forest. We're doing everything we can to push them back. To the northeast, Andrakis the Hidden could use your help dealing with the ogre problem.
Okay, let's go ahead and head northeast, and we can go ahead and help out with the ogre problem. So this next task here is a little weird, but it's actually very nice. So this camp here gets attacked by the Ash Legion and will actually be controlled by the Ash Legion. And when it is controlled, this task is a little hard to complete because there are no ogres around, but there are still like the ogre supplies, so you just have to fight a bunch of supplies over and over in order to complete the task. But let's go ahead and take a look at these new skills. So starting backwards, we have Cloak and Dagger, so we stab our foe and vanish in stealth, leaving them vulnerable. So this is a very cool ability because, oh, that's a champion. Let's ignore that scout for now, because we can use this ability to go into stealth to unlock access to backstab or any other stealth attacks that we'd have in our main hand. So it is a very easy way to gain some quick access to stealth in order to unleash a deadly, powerful attack against the enemy that we are fighting. And you can kind of do it every now and then. Again, when we go into stealth and we come out, we get a debuff, or a buff technically, on us called Revealed, where we cannot go into stealth for 3 seconds after coming out of it prematurely. If we were to let the stealth run out, we would not get that debuff, but if we were to attack and come out of it prematurely, we get that on our bar. It is kind of a nice way to prevent people from cheesing, from being in stealth like permanently over and over and over and never getting out of stealth. But there are ways for people to do that still with different abilities. Next, we have Dancing Dagger. So we throw a dagger that cripples nearby foes and returns to you. So we can deal a ton of damage with this ability if you're ever fighting against a group, because it deals a ton of damage to each and every one of them and applies a ton of conditions to them as well. Our next ability here is called Death Blossom. Do an evasive attack over your target, striking nearby foes 3 times. Each hit causes bleeding. So this is a very cool ability there. Let's go ahead and just finish the ogres off. And then let's go ahead and take a look at our short bow. So the short bow is really interesting because most people don't tend to fight with the short bow in most situations, but in certain situations where you're farming a ton of enemies, it is very nice to use, and people will use it for that reason. The auto attack is a really nice ability to use because it just bounces between enemies and it lets you tag them, and you can get a lot of credit for kills with that. Let's go ahead and head back over here for a moment, and we can go ahead and grab this waypoint and this vista and then this task here as well. And we completed that, and then let's go ahead and take a look at this area around us. Let's go ahead and take a look at this sniper rifle here because this is really fun. This ability here is a 5,000 range ability, so it goes super far and it deals a ton of damage. We actually missed there. The Devourer is standing still and we just one-shot it. Very, very fun. And it looks like the next area for us to explore is over here by this scout. We also have a vista here and a waypoint that we can go back and look at as well. Here is the waypoint, and let's go ahead and chat with this scout.
Welcome to Ascalon City. We're still fighting a battle hundreds of years old to reclaim our rightful lands. Something has to be done to drive the ghosts out for good.
So Ascalon City, this is a very, very, very cool part of the world because it is a very important location from the original Guild Wars, and we are going to go ahead and take a look at it next episode. As far as this episode goes, I'm going to go ahead and call it good here. I hope you all enjoyed this episode, and I hope you all come around next episode to take a look at the Ascalon City, as well as the rest of the Plains of Ashford, and then we'll head back to the Black Citadel probably to do a little bit of map completion there, and then head to the next map in Ascalon. But again, I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all are taking good care of yourselves. Remember, drink some water, check your posture, and subscribe. I'll see you all next time in our adventures in Guild Wars 2. Goodbye.